Y'all, I ain't never returned a library book so fast in my life. Soon as I saw the end, I was like, here you go. Take it, take it, take it. We don't want it, we don't want it. Hey, my little raggedies, what's up? If you are new here, I'm Rena Swan, and welcome to my channel. On this channel, we do thriller, we do domestic dramas, we do a little YA, we even do romance here and there, and we do vlogs. And today we are doing our monthly nostalgic read. So let's get into it. So last month I did Fly Girl, and I was silly enough to think like, okay, let's just continue on with the series. And I probably should have chose something else. And I'm not here to drag Omar. I'm really not, because I know we have to be very delicate with our Black authors, but I'm gonna be honest, this wasn't needed. So well, first of all, let me just say this. When we do our nostalgic reads for the month, it is a spoiler review. So it's just going down memory lane. It's really for people who haven't read the book and don't plan on reading it, or have read the book and just want to remember how they felt in the moment when they read that book. Now, this particular book, I did not read when I was a kid, because I probably looked at the back of it and was like, this ain't for me. And I should listen to Lil Raina, because Lil Raina, she might have been a little silly back in the day, but she had a little bit of sense. And I should listen to the little girl. So let's just get into it. Tracy is now 25. This is a completely different Tracy from what we met in Fly Girl. She is rich, she is famous, and Omar makes it known, okay? He makes it known all throughout the book that she got the money. We are dumped into the scene of her getting her father this really, really nice, expensive car. And so she gets him this car, and when he gets home, he sees it, she surprises him, and he says, "You could have got me a Cadillac Escalade." I wish I would buy any of my raggedy parents anything and they tell me what I could have, should have, would have did. But that's just me. So he's still very much an asshole in this book. Her mama is still written very vaguely. We don't really get too much from her mama. Jason, her little brother, he's now in his 20s, early 20s. And he is irrelevant. So anyway, we get deeper into the story, and she's talking about how she is gonna move to Hollywood, and she wants to be more than an actress. She wants to be a screenwriter, and she's doing interviews with Wendy Williams and this and that person, and it just drags on and on and on. And that's really like the gist of the book, her trying to become a screenwriter. We don't really get to, we do see what Rahima is up to, her neighbor from Fly Girl, and she's doing well. She's living in New Jersey. We get a glimpse into how Mercedes is doing. She's not back on that stuff. She's doing okay, but she's asking Tracy for money for a house. The audacity, because who are you to ask anybody to buy you a house? So yeah, so she asks Tracy to buy her a house, and Tracy feels like she's obligated because the last movie role that she played in, she really pulled from Mercedes' life and really dug deep into like who Mercedes used to be in order to become that character in her latest movie. And so she kind of felt like she owed her a little bit, but she didn't outright tell her like, yeah girl, I got you. So that was that. We do bump into Keith and Beth, that's Mercedes, and Rahima's mama and daddy. They're good. They're not the same traumatic parents they were in Fly Girl. Cool. We don't really get too many scenes we don't really get any scenes for real with Victor. We just got 2. But she mentioned Victor all throughout the book. Victor, all throughout the book. She was still clearly obsessed with this man. So the 2 little scenes that Victor got, he was out of prison and he owned like a shop, and Tracy went to go see him, and while seeing him, even though she knew he had a wife and child, she went to go see him anyway, and his wife was there. And the wife goes, "Oh yeah, I've heard so much about you, you know." And Tracy's like, "Yeah, you know," she's thinking to herself, like, "I'm pretty sure she has learned a lot about me. Everybody has read the book Fly Girl." Okay, so it's kind of like Omar written this kind of like Tracy is not a fictional character. She's like a real person, and Fly Girl was written about her by Omar. Yeah, I didn't like that. So she's like, back to the wife, she's like, "Oh yeah, I heard so much about you, yada yada." So Tracy and Victor, they go outside, they have a little chat, and they're like, "Yeah, we got some unfinished business we need to, you know, close out and whatever." So Tracy goes and she books a hotel, knowing this man is married. And he didn't say nothing about doing a do. Like, he just said, like, "Let's meet up to talk." And so Tracy's like, she has already made up in her mind that she wants to sleep with him, even though she just met his wife earlier in the day. Victor shows up and he see what type of time she on, and he's with it or whatever. But she's like, "Okay, where's the protection? You got protection?" He's like, "No, I ain't got no protection. I'm not using no protection. If this is what we about to do, this is just what we about to do." She's like, "Hold up, wait a minute. No. Where's the condoms?" And he's like, "No, if you're gonna sleep with me, you're gonna just deal with whatever consequences that come with sleeping with me." What? So, y'all, why she was like, "Okay." And then she was like, "Hold up, but what if I get pregnant?" And he was like, "Then you just gonna get pregnant." That's when she just had like a little nervous little, "Okay, never mind, I don't want to do it no more." Like, and he left. And that was the scene with Victor. Y'all. Okay, so then Omar mentioned his name in this book 12 times. 12 times. And let me just say this. I feel like in the 90s, Fly Girl and The Coldest Winter Ever were neck and neck, and people were really like buying those books up, eating them up, and trying to decipher which book was the better book. And I feel like Omar saw how Sister Souljah wrote herself in The Coldest Winter Ever, and he wanted to do the same thing. But not only that, I feel like once Sister Souljah dropped No Disrespect, and he saw how well No Disrespect did, he wanted to take a more woke approach and be more of a conscious writer, and he tried to throw that into For the Love of Money, and it just fell flat. Also, he had a poem, y'all, after every single chapter. Now, this book was 416 pages long, and he had a poem, and I only really liked 2 of them, for real. And it was like 30-something chapters in the book. And I know you're probably thinking like, "Well, Raina, maybe you just don't like poetry." I used to write poetry. That ain't it. That's not it. It just wasn't necessary. It wasn't needed. It just really interrupted the flow of the story so much. It really did. So we get dialogue. We get dialogue of her trying to become a screenwriter and maneuvering through Hollywood, right? Really, and I'm not even being mean, but really irrelevant things are happening. Because she just keeps talking about Fly Girl. When I was growing up, we were fly. When I was growing, like, I promise you. Then then she finally gets someone to, like, not only allow her to play the main role, but let her, like, do a little writing in the book or whatever, and change the script this man had already written. And so she is talking about how she's kind of uncomfortable with sex scenes, but she gonna do it anyway because she wrote them in the script. Like, okay, girl, if you didn't really want to do sex scenes, then why did you write? You wrote it in the script. Anyway, they come out with the movie Roadkill. It does, I don't even know if they talked about if it did well or not. We just got to the premiere night of Roadkill. That was the movie. It was like a woman who fought crime and whooped niggas' ass because they was up to no good. And basically, she was still feeding over Victor, but she decided to move on to some Cuban man. And that was the book, y'all. I swear to God. I swear, I don't swear to God, but I swear that was the book. I promise that was the book, y'all. And I can end the video right now. I really could. So I was going to throw in a review for Let That Be the Reason, because that was also another nostalgic read that I did earlier this month. But I was just like, you know what? I had already did a little review for Let That Be the Reason on my Instagram. So if y'all want to know how I felt about that book, y'all can go to my Instagram at Rana.Swan. And that was it, y'all. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I got chicken in the kitchen. I'm trying to eat. It's just like, Fly Girl, Omar, you disappointed me, sister. like you And if you ever find yourself wondering if I'm gonna read Boss Lady, I might not read not another book by Omar. I kid you not. So yeah, that was it. I have a couple of books that I have written on a list that I want to get to for our nostalgic reads that we do every month. And if you have any books that you read as a child that you want me to discuss and walk down memory lane with you on, put them in the comments, DM me, let me know, and I'll read them and we can talk about them. Because I think so far I have like the Midnight series. I have like some Jerome Dickey books on there. I have some Triple Crown publication books on there. I got some Terry McMillan books on there. So yeah, I'm feeling like I'm liking the schedule that I curated for this channel. And that's it. That is it. Bookish update. In my August hopeful videos, all the books that I listed, I've read all of those books so far except for 2. Now, I don't really think I'm gonna read those 2 because I tried to get into them and I could not, y'all. I promise you I could not. But look at me. It's only the 2nd week of August, right? I'm lying. It's the 3rd week of August, and I've read all the books I said I was gonna read except for 2. Kudos, Raina. You did it. And I think that's because I said I was gonna cut back and I wasn't gonna be doing 12 books a month. That was crazy. But a lot of them was novellas though. Some of them was novellas. So yeah. I hope y'all have a great week. I'm having a great week. Yeah. All right, y'all. Bye, my little raggities.